All right, everyone. It's time to get cracking. I'm going to work on this for a little bit. I think this area is going to get tackled. I want to do this hard area. It's not hard, but it's just challenging using a pastel. It just kind of gets in the way. It's hard to do detail with a colored pastel stick like this, so you just have to take your time and go slow with it, unfortunately. And be patient. Above all else, just be patient. That's all you can ask. It's going to be a slow one. Not a lot of chatting. If I do talk, it's going to be in between making a mark. Because it's hard to chat and talk, or draw and talk at the same time. Or at least for me it is. Other people, maybe not so much. But for me, it is. I'm going to work on this for an hour today, and then I got to put all my time in for the rest of the night with another commission that's going to take up the next, I want to say, 20 hours or so of work. I think tonight I'm going to spend an hour maybe an hour sketching out an idea. And then after that, I think what I'll do is I'll set up for the intermediate, like drawing, the in-between process of getting the drawing onto the surface of the paper. So, and then if I get it drawn or get part of it started, I'll be happy. And then tomorrow I'll knock out the colors maybe. And then Tuesday and Wednesday will be refining things. I don't know yet. Often when you're drawing or making work, there's especially if you're making, like, doing a commission and you're doing something that isn't like in your Rolodex, like something that you don't normally do, you have to kind of come up with like small little goalpost, small goalpost that you have to kind of just deem as a landmark for you to achieve at a certain time frame. And you have to make them up in regards to the project that you're working on. Not every drawing is going to have the same landmark or goalpost. And so this one, my goalpost is, if I can get this small area done, not today, maybe today, this little area done-ish or filled out, that'll be great, because I got these small little areas right behind it that are going to take up just as much time, because these aren't like colored pencils where I'm able to really have a lot of precision. I have to kind of like dab in the areas that I want to make a mark. Put a little bit of little pressure in certain areas, and then you have to kind of push the pastel around, because sometimes it's just difficult. It's not really easy to make precise lines with this. For some odd reason, the marks aren't doing what I wanted to do. So you just have to kind of like dab, press, and know how to make a slight edge with your pastel, you know, and I would say be loose, I guess. I don't know. Not that it really applies to this, because I'm trying to be a little bit precise, but it's not really working. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the camera does have an effect on how I'm performing, because I would position my eye or my head to see where the pastel is making contact, but the camera's in the way, and so I have to kind of go a little bit slower. And perhaps that's a good thing. I don't know. Don't know. That's up to be decided. But very slow process. Not fun. I'm not gonna lie. This is not. It kind of saps the energy out of it. But I guess that's part of the process. I think a lot of art just takes time. It's just really boring, though. It doesn't make for an exciting work, or it doesn't make for exciting, like, video. I saw this guy on TikTok, and he was streaming, and he was, no joke, he was, for 30 minutes, he was coloring a small area white. That's all he did. He didn't really get anything else done. For 30 minutes. No, I'm not lying. He did it for 30 minutes. The whole live stream was him. He was just yakking. Just yap. He was just yap up in a storm. And then he was trying to just fill up a small area. Anyways. Oops. Now you might be thinking, like, why don't you just mass out, color this whole area out, and then just erase the remainder? And fair enough, that'd probably work. I don't know if it'd work well, but it might be a good strategy. You know, it might be a good way to go about it. Who knows? Oh boy, this is hard holding it's really hard holding your pastel like this, where you're holding it like with you're pinching it. You're pinching it. It's no matter how long I've been doing it, it's still not second nature. It's still challenging. Still, I want to say uncomfortable too. It's still a little bit uncomfortable. And it's very hard to be precise with it. It doesn't want you to. It's very challenging. I need a better eraser. I need one of those. I need to get my eraser that I can kind of sand and sharpen, so I can have a fine tip eraser. So maybe perhaps that's what I'll do in the future. Next, before I start this drawing again, I will get an eraser that I can sharpen. Anyways. And I use this, if you're wondering what this post here, it's used so I don't put my palm on the paper. You know? And you'll see a lot of artists, you know, they have certain versions of this that they use when they paint. Some people will use like a stick that they'll put on the side. There's variations of it. This is just one of my variations. super slow. This stuff will get, I will tighten this up later on. Like, I'll make it cleaner, but right now I just want to get something on paper. And then later on, I will make it better. Or at least I'll try to. Who knows? I might, you ever do those do a drawing and you're like, you say to yourself, I'm going to make it better. And then you start making it better, quote unquote, quote unquote. And it just gets worse. You're like, oh my gosh, I did not make it better. I made it orders of magnitude worse. This is awful. Why did I do this? I don't know. Why did I make this mistake? This was a mistake. I messed up. Oh no. Oh no. That's that Family Guy character again. I use that guy a lot. Just one of those days. I think what I might do, just to make it feel like I'm doing something else for a second, take a little break from that, and let's just color some of this up with a, what green have I been using? Has it been this green? I think it's been this green. We're just gonna, again, I'm gonna put a little bit of green right here because this is supposed to be like leaves and foliage and grass or trees or whatever, trees and branches and leaves. I don't know what it is. They're trees. And I am going to leave it very, I'm not going to mass it out a lot. I'm going to leave a little bit of the tooth of the paper showing. Just in case. Because you want to be able to have some of the tooth of the paper. You don't want to go too aggressive with it. So I tend to leave some of the texture of the paper on the drawing first, because maybe later on when I'm working on it, there might be some instances where I want to keep that the surface of the paper a little bit more present. And if I go over the drawing, if I go over the paper too aggressive, too dark, too opaque, I'll have some troubles later on, and I don't want that. Something like that will be fine. And then the background right area, that's going to be a different color, I think. So like this these are going to be a different green. Yes, I did that just to kind of make it feel like I've done a little bit more than just work in the white areas. And that's going to be challenging in itself. So I think I'll leave that for now, then go back to the white. Go back to the white area and continue on, man. I'm going to do this live for another 12 minutes. Take a little break, get some coffee, come back and work on it for another 30 minutes. And then I got to go. I got to get out of here. I always got to get out of here. To where, I don't know. I just got to go. You ever have those friends that they're always leaving? You don't know what, like they have to go, but they don't know where they're going. They just have to go. Like I got to go. Where are you going? Oh, I don't know. Not here. I'm done. I'm done hanging out here now. I'm gonna go do something else now. Oh, or those friends. I mean, I've been one of these friends as well. That wouldn't respond to messages about like a party or something until the last minute because or wouldn't respond to some invitation to the last minute because you're waiting for maybe there's going to be something more enjoyable or entertaining than the current offer that you have. You know, you can't like just stick to a plan or stick to a invitation. You're like, we'll see what happens. There might be a party that happens or whatever. I had a lot of friends like that. I think there's a lot of people that do that. And you can kind of do that when you're younger, you know? You're like, we'll just see if there's something that's more palatable, more fun, or at least what we thought was more fun, you know? And they're always, I gotta go. See you later. Where are you going? I don't know. Somewhere else. Somewhere else. Somewhere else, man. I wonder if I can use like some white charcoal, you know, or maybe if I had like some colored pencils or something that I could overlay on top of the pastel a little bit. So maybe I add like in these areas I use some colored pencil or something, or some white charcoal to really make them stronger, clean up the lines a little bit, because they're really imprecise from this distance. And I wonder if that might be an approach I might be wanting to consider. So that's some things you have to think about when you're doing work like this, you know. What can I be doing? What could be a different way that might work a little bit better? You know? So the eraser's not doing what I thought it would do. Perhaps the eraser's too dirty. Perhaps it's just not good enough. I don't know. It's just kind of in the way. I thought I'd be able to remove more. You know, I thought I'd be able to remove more, and it's turning out that's not so much the case. Or maybe I just got to be more patient. I have stated multiple times, you just got to be patient with this stuff. I have. Perhaps this was a bad choice to use to do colored pastel, but I don't have access to a large library of colored pencils, so I just have to make do with what I have. So what I'm going to do is so behind this is the behind the bridge. This darker green is supposed to be behind, so I'm using the darker colors in the background because they are darker. So I'm using these darker greens to give the illusion that they're farther away, and also just treating everything as a simple flat tone essentially. And then I'm going to add more details if that makes any sense. It's not even like I'm being more detailed. It's just more information for the viewer to make sense of the drawing, essentially. That's what I'm going to be doing. And I just wanted to put some green in there so I can start having something build in on the drawing. I'm running out of coffee. That's good. That should be a sign that I need to get more coffee. Oh, wow, fun. I'm trying to get this mark here, and I can't seem to get it because the pastel is not one to go any further. Oh boy. Oh, I messed up. I messed up big time. I'm messing up big time. Not really. Oh no, yeah. Maybe I am. I need to get an eraser. I think I saw one somewhere in this in my studio. Ah! Maybe I can use this. I think that it works, but it's got like eraser shavings and I can't seem to get it off. There we go. It's still there. I can't seem to get it up. A little bit of like eraser residue, you know? And I can't like brush it off because it's just going to smear it, you know? That's all it's going to do is smear it. So I'll just leave it like that for now. I think I messed up pretty big over here. It doesn't want to erase well, you know? It erases it, but I don't know if it's doing the amount of erasures that I want it to do. You know, it's just kind of doing a little bit. But here we are. Yikes. I'm making mistakes left and right today. Alrighty. I think that's going to be it for now. I'm going to go take a little quick break, and I am going to come back and work on this a little bit more for about 30 more minutes. And I think if this gets done, maybe a little bit right here, that'll be a pretty good success, I think. That'll be a good job. I think that'll be a good thing. Anyways, I gotta get going. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, or follow, depending on what platform you're on. Take care. Cheers.